We are officially in the end game for Nintendo Switch 2, and we've talked about pretty much everything that we possibly can with the console. Every single week there's a new rumor or leak or something to talk about, so today I'm going to wrap everything up into a neat bow because I do feel like the reveal is very, very soon. It's imminent. So I want to make sure that I touch on every single rumor or leak that tells us everything about this console. Now, this stuff is still technically rumors, of course, but a lot of this stuff has been verified by different companies, insiders. Yeah, most of this is going to be exactly what we're getting with Switch 2, which kind of sucks because Nintendo waited so long to reveal this thing. But today, I'm telling you exactly what to expect so far from all the information rounded up for Nintendo Switch 2. So think of this as a little sneak peek before the reveal type of deal. But first, I'm going to say big thanks to absolutely everybody that's tuning in. You guys got us almost 400 brand new subscribers just the other day, so thank you so much. If you learned something new from this or just want to enjoy Switch 2 content when it drops, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo and all things Switch 2. But thank you guys so much. Let's see how many we can get from this one video alone, and let's dive into the video. So far from everything that we know, the Switch 2 is simply a newer and better version of the Nintendo Switch 1. Think of this kind of like the progression of Xbox or PlayStation, moving from PlayStation 2, 3, 4, and now 5. This is the Switch 2. And apparently, yes, the name is being called the Switch 2. This was confirmed by Piero and other insiders, and the logo is literally just the Switch logo with the number 2 beside it. The Switch 2 dock apparently is shorter, allowing for more screen room on the front, and it also has the Switch 2 logo plastered on the front of the dock as well, which is just the Switch and the number 2 beside it. A lot of people believe that the reasoning behind this is to display stuff on the screen while in docked mode, like maybe the game that you're playing, the time, the weather, the temperature, stuff like that. So think of it turning into alarm mode when you have it docked. No, not alarm-o. The screen for Switch 2 is apparently an 8-inch LCD. Compared to the original Switch had a 6.2-inch LCD screen, where the Switch OLED has a 7-inch OLED screen. So this screen is going to be slightly larger, but apparently it's going back to an LCD, which I'm not a fan of, and I really hope that's not the case, because OLED screens, it's a really big difference. I mean, I couldn't imagine going back to my prior Switch. Joy-Con are now magnetically rail attached. Instead of the old slide and click in, they apparently just magnetically snap onto the sides of the screen itself, making it a lot easier to put on and pop off. And the whole animation apparently is going to be different with all the marketing and the trailers of the Switch Joy-Con snapping to the side of the logo instead of sliding in. The Joy-Con are now apparently a lot bigger, and they have bigger buttons and bigger triggers. For instance, the ZL, ZR, RL, even SL and SR buttons on the side where the rail is are a lot bigger and stick out more to make it easier to press those buttons. We also have 2 big buttons on the back that work as latches in order to pop the Joy-Con off the rail. There seems to be one new button that's placed on the right Joy-Con underneath the home button that has a C on it. Now, there's still debate out there for what exactly this is for. Some people think connect, some people think it's some type of chat button. We really don't know. Some people even think it's a camera, so who knows at this point, but yep, there's some type of extra button for some type of new function. There will apparently be 2 USB-C ports, one at the top and one at the bottom. A lot of people also think the one at the top is because there's going to be some type of accessory that we can add to our Switch console, because there's some grooves and weird things on the top of the console that might hint at some type of peripheral coming to the console. We also seem to have this new designed U-shaped kickstand on the back of the console. So what about the specs? Well, we actually have information on this as well, because there's been a lot of hacks. For instance, the entire motherboard just got leaked online, which is pretty insane, but a lot of people have been analyzing and try to pull concrete evidence from this, and it's really hard to tell from just a picture, but the overall verdict is it doesn't seem like it's going to be as powerful as people were expecting at the first place, but still probably around PS4 or PS4 Pro level, probably slightly lower than PS4 Pro. As far as the actual specs, we know it's going to have a custom NVIDIA chip, around 8 to 12 gigabytes of RAM, current Switch has 4 gigabytes, 256 gigabytes of storage, where the current Switch has 32 gigabytes. It's going to have DLSS 2 support, which is deep learning super sampling, which in short is using AI to improve graphics during gameplay. It's going to have SR3 support, an 8-inch LCD display at 120 Hz refresh rate, improved battery life. Current Switch has about a 4.5 to 9 hour battery life, which is hard to calculate depending on what game you're playing, but it's also going to have 1080p be handheld and 4K docked apparently. Which I still have my doubts on that Switch 2 4K rumor. I don't know if Nintendo is going to be able to pull that off. We've heard some games might get updated based on the hardware, allowing us to play better versions of the games that we already have, and we've also heard rumors of certain games getting re-releases to run a lot better as well. Like for instance, there's been an ongoing rumor that we'll be getting some type of new form of Breath of the Wild that runs a lot better and looks a lot better than the version we've already had, and they'll probably do the same with Tears of the Kingdom if that's pretty successful. What about reveal rumors? Well, right now there's rumors of a January reveal, and a lot of the rumors are saying as early as next week. Yeah, I'm talking about next week, the second week technically of January, which is pretty daggone soon. That starts in a couple of days. So we'll see if that's true, but man, we've been led astray so many times. I really don't believe any reveal rumors at this point, but based off of all the leaks and everything that's been happening in the last couple of weeks and months, I think it's safe to say that Nintendo wants to get this thing revealed as soon as they can this year, and starting next week would just make too much sense. Another reason why this makes a lot of sense is that the holiday is over now, and also the last couple of months, lots of different companies have been pretty much showing off and talking about Switch 2. Either accessory companies showing off their accessories and the actual look of the console within the accessory with models that they made thanks to the information that Nintendo gave them, and these companies are just coming out with no shame talking about them. So it's safe to say that there's probably some type of embargo that lifted or some type of deal that ended because Nintendo was supposed to reveal the console sometime last year and never got around to it, leading all these companies to come out and show their Switch 2 accessories, including a company next week on the 7th that's having a panel where they're answering any and every Switch 2 question. Yeah, that's pretty weird. And I can even include myself in this. As soon as we jumped into the new year, I started getting tons of emails from accessory companies wanting to send me, yes, Switch 2 accessories sometime soon, with some of them even saying that they can send them over in February. So it's pretty weird, and I do think this is because something is getting ready to happen. Plus, Nintendo has an investors meeting on February the 4th, which would be the third investor meeting since they originally announced this whole fiscal year plan. So with all the leaks and companies talking about the thing, they're going to want to reveal it before then. With the rumors saying that the reveal month could be this month in January, the launch rumors are saying the month of March. Yeah, I don't buy it. Now, there's some rumors saying as early as March, and I've seen some saying as late as like May, so around the March to May timeframe seems to be about right, still earlier on this year. But overall, I'm still a little skeptic. For one, I feel like there wouldn't be time to have a big launch title then, because we don't know anything outside of Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends ZA, so what would the launch title be? Because I'm pretty sure they'd want more than 2 months to reveal and show off a brand new 3D Mario or Mario Kart, and it would surprise me if they didn't launch with one, which unfortunately leads me to my next rumor. There's some rumors out there stating that yes, a 3D Mario and Mario Kart are coming, and they're going to be shortly after the launch of Switch 2, but not as launch titles, which would just blow my mind to be honest. After waiting as long as we have, and apparently with all these internal delays pushing it further and further, and Mario being 8 years since 3D Mario pretty soon, and Mario Kart pushing 11 to 12 years, Nintendo has to have these games ready, at least one of them by launch, but the rumors are saying maybe not. Maybe our launch game is just Pokemon and Metroid at this point, which to me isn't the smartest move, but we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with that. What about some stuff actually confirmed by Nintendo? Well, we know Nintendo said that they would reveal information about Switch 2 by the end of the fiscal year, which is March 31st. So technically, we are about under 90 days until we could, for sure get information about Switch 2. Like I said, a lot of people are expecting it to happen in January with all the recent leaks and everything. I mean, literally the motherboard leaking should be pushing them to reveal this thing sooner, but who knows? Nintendo also let us know that there would be backwards compatibility with Nintendo Switch. Now, of course, with games, but how far does this backwards compatibility go? I've heard some rumors that you can also use the Switch 1 Joy-Con for Switch 2, so I'm sure Nintendo will expand on that more, but also coming over from Switch 1, I've heard that yes, it's going to be using the same operating system as Nintendo Switch, and NSO will be continuing on to this next console that Nintendo pretty much already confirmed. Also, the fact that NSO is going to be getting some more updates next year, which a lot of people are believing is going to be a brand new console added, like GameCube games, maybe even DS games, if there's some type of dual screen function on Switch 2. And And one of the last bits of information we have a rumor about with this new console is the price is looking to be around $400 to $500. Of course, $500 is pretty high for something like a Nintendo console, so we're gonna have to see if that's even relatively close to what's gonna happen. But I'm thinking around $400 to $450 sounds more likely to me. But look, I am 100% on the same page and same book with you guys. I am tired. It's been a long journey waiting for this thing to be revealed, and I am so ready to see the next era of Nintendo games, the next generation console coming, just all the information around it, the big trailers, the flashy directs and everything. I'm so ready to be back in that era. I do think it's finally time, but of course the next coming weeks will definitely tell. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and let me know, with all this information, are you more excited for Switch 2? Are you for some reason less excited? Let me know how you're feeling about this, and thank you so much for tuning in today. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.